Good evening, YouTube. Wonderful Monday night. A little bit blustery, a little bit rainy, but that's okay. I enjoy it. So, we're going to discuss what to do in the room. By now, I'm assuming you've been through the other videos. You understand the idea of a safe space. You're quiet, you're happy. Your zone where you get to affect what occurs. So it's great that you have this zone, right? What do you do when you're in it? What's that zone meant for? Well, it's meant for productivity. The productivity of getting things straight in your life. Figuring out exactly who you are, what you believe, why you believe it, and where you want to go. Do your beliefs align with your goals? Does your passion and your interest lie counter to what you do? Are you able to figure out a path forward that combines what it is that you want out of life with what it is that you are? Your essence, your being. These are very deep questions. Now, the question that I often ask when I get into that scenario is I'll go in, I'll sit down, I'll line that question out, usually as a statement of belief. Like, well, I don't know. I'd really like to go on an elk hunt, but God, I'm so out of shape. There's no way I'm going to be able to hike all that distance, take that shot, do the cleaning and the field dressing, then haul them back out. You know, I'm probably accurate in that. Probably. So I'm out of alignment with what my goal would be. So I ask myself the statement, the question, why do I have this as a goal? Do you have a why? I bet you do. Once you find out your why, it's real easy to do your hows. But I wouldn't go just one deep in why. You know, elk hunting, yeah, that's kind of superficial. But, you know, something more deep, like why do I believe I'm not good enough for a loving relationship? Or why do I believe that I am not strong enough to see my goals through? Or I am unable to contain discipline within me because that's just how I am, and I can't do it. I cannot be a disciplined human. Never have been, never will be. Okay. Why can't you be a disciplined human? Might be difficult to come up with an answer to that, but when you do, then I want you to ask yourself, why again? Take your answer, rephrase it into a question, go another layer deeper. Why do I believe this? Why do I believe this? Eventually, you're going to come to a point where you don't have a why. Now, look back over all of your whys. Does it make sense? Or are you making excuses? Are you not wanting to do the work? Are you feeling a bit of malaise towards it? No, maybe your goal ain't right. Maybe your belief is perfectly fine, but your goal ain't right. You have to align your intentions and your goals with your being. So, if that makes any sense, that's pretty much all I have for that particular aspect of it right now. Because it's mostly a you already kind of know what to do. So you get a few minutes of examples of little encouragement. You pretty much already know what you need to do. So, now you have decided, you've gone through this why process. What's the next step? Well, the next step is set your goal and aim up. Aim as high as you comfortably think you can. And then my suggestion to you is to break it down into incremental steps. Just as in banking, compound interest is a powerful force, so in taking care of yourself. The interest in self, that compounds too. One step is one step further than you were. You add a second step to that, then you're 2 steps further. You keep adding steps day by day, and you look back a year from now, and you're miles from where you were. And taking a step, a small step, a small increment, one at a time, is the essence of eating the elephant. Do you like to sit down to dinner? You can equate it. It's pretty much the same. It's a small little thing. You can easily do it. You do it. You digest it. How did it go? How do you feel? Maybe you want to do it again. So you take another small step and celebrate your successes. Now, I know people say, oh, geez, I could have done that in my sleep. Trained monkey could do that. Yeah. Well, maybe you got better trained monkeys than some of the people I've seen out here, because I know a lot of people who have a very hard time taking that step. But once you start moving forward, it's a cumulative effect. It rolls over. It keeps going. And all you have to do, once you have inertia, once you started down that path, is just keep it rolling. You take it one little increment at a time, and I promise you, as long as you're stepping forward, no matter how small, you got a lifetime. You're gonna make your goal. Now, I'm not saying take your goal, launch it way out there. Hey, a year from now, Daddy gonna be a millionaire. Okay, that's probably a pretty lofty goal. That's probably an unattainable goal. But if that's what you want to go for, plan it. Incremental steps. Execute. Now, I would advise, set a small fitness goal. Set a small routine goal. Set a small intellectual improvement goal. Whether that's write a book, whether that's start learning a different language, whether that is dig deep into philosophy, whether that is adventure through psychiatry, whatever it is that will broaden your knowledge and gain you new perspectives, it's a good thing. And believe me, lots of things can be considered completely disconnected, but when you look at them, you can see the commonalities. That's what a broad education does for you. They're not going to give you a broad education these days. This is something you're going to have to go and find. So I strongly encourage reading. Even if it's reading for entertainment, even if it's reading sci-fi fantasy or horror books, whatever, it's going to improve your vernacular. It is going to teach you words. It's going to teach you concepts that you didn't know before. Because books are made up of real things. They're not put into a real story. But people exist. People do things. People plan things. Everything that's written in a book is basically a conception of that reality. There are concepts behind the things they write. Now, if you can start to understand those and you can start to integrate them into your mind, hey, you're expanding your intelligence. You can look towards Einsteinian type intelligence, where you're looking towards physics and logic and science, or you can look towards emotional intelligence. You can look into the psychological realms. You can look into practiced empathy. You can look into lots of things like deep meditation. and how that affects you and how that affects those around you by the way it affects you. So what I'm saying is pick an incremental step to meet a realistic goal and do it in several parts of your life. Identify them out, list them out. I can't do it for you because, quite frankly, I don't know exactly what it is that you need. This is just a general outline. If you do want me to outline something specific for you, you can feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to see what I can come up with as a first step of action plan. Now, from here, I'm going to segue to another video. I need you to understand when I do this, this is not a slight on any of the people that I'm going to be discussing. Moreover, what it is an overview of what I call the traits of doves and the traits of snakes. So I hope to see you in the next video, and I hope you have a lovely evening. Bye-bye now.